you're here, then that means you obviously have noticed that today we're going to be focusing on a political message. I do apologize for the setup. I don't have my usual setup available at the moment because I'm reworking my setup and I also need to make some room. But because things got a little messy in here, but yeah, I'm just trying to make it work. But today we're going to be focusing on a political message. Before we also get started, I do want to say if you ever see any movement right here, that is my cat. That's Sora. He decided to join in on the video. He likes to be present whenever I'm doing tarot readings, and even if it's on topics like these, he just likes the presence, and he always sleeps during them too. So he is here, and you'll just see him sleeping there. But yeah, today we are talking about a political message. First, before we get into some of the cards that had already fallen out while I was preparing for this reading, I want to talk about some channeled messages that I got. And it's not a whole lot with the channeled messages. I'm still seeing things about his ear, the orange man, the current sitting president, just things about his ear, possibly secrets coming out about that. I also think that there are secrets that are just coming out in general. So if you have not heard, it was fairly recent, as I'm recording this, that the files weren't leaked. However, there were emails that were leaked somewhere, and it's about the files. So it's not the files themselves, but it is about the files. And our current sitting president, his name is all over these emails. But there's also another name that popped up, which not a lot of people were surprised about. It would be former President Bill Clinton's name too. Another thing that confirmed it as well, I forget who. I don't quote me on this because I really can't remember who it was that said this. I want to say it was Putin. Putin. Asking about if it mentions. I'm not going to say exactly what he said because I don't want this video to get flagged, but did the orange man perform something on Bubba? And for those who are familiar with for in politics and nicknames, people have like real life nicknames, not just some nicknames that I use or some other YouTubers use for like the current sitting president right now. But Bubba is Clinton's nickname. So yeah. So that came out, and I just think there's going to be more and more secrets like this, and other secrets as well, like revolving around the ear, that are going to be brought to the light. But let's go ahead and get into the cards that fell out today. So we have a finger, we have a vase, and we have a feather. So finger, it says, warning you of a problem. either now or in the near future. So obviously, right now we have a problem within the U.S. government, um, and I'm pretty sure that that's what that is talking about. I'm also kind of picturing finger pointing, like that image, finger pointing among people in the government. We also have feather. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. This obviously makes me think of the sitting US president right now. It could be the entirety of MAGA. But I've been feeling this very strongly recently about Mike Johnson. And I feel like that relates to him too. I also feel like secrets relate to him. And then when I wrote his name, all I could keep hearing in my journal when I'm writing his name was just liar, just over and over again. And I mean, we kind of already know that if you're not part of the MAGA group and have been following this and haven't trusted it this entire time or are now just waking up to all of this, we know he's lying. We know a lot of the MAGA is lying, okay? So that wasn't anything new, but I do feel like with Vase, even though it says secret admirer, but I feel like this is just talking about those secrets starting to come out, but I also feel like it relates to the files specifically. So with that popping out, I do think we're going to start building momentum on fighting to get these files released, especially now that we've got these emails out there. And with this card here, we have the Two of Swords in reverse. And when this pops up in reverse position, we're talking about a stalemate. We're talking about the truth needing to come out and that there's pressure, and these people who are not dependable and insincere are feeling the pressure because we the people are not stopping. Over on this side, we've got Valley, the Chariot, and Three of Cups. All three of these talk about success and victory. Literally, the Valley says deep personal strength and peace that assures success. And when I look at the Valley, this makes me think of the US. It specifically also, for some reason, made me think of the, closer to the west side of the country. So California, Nevada, all of that. Just because there's mountains depicted in here and they seem really big to me. And the Rockies are a very, very big mountainous place. So something about maybe the West Coast. Maybe some focus is going to be over on the West Coast, but it does make me think of just protests in general and how big they are. How these protests are actually being successful, and more people are waking up and joining in. We have with the Chariot direction, focus, determination, concentration, triumph, perseverance. That all describes these protests, that all describes these people, the people who are fighting back. We've got support, sharing, celebration, problem resolution, which we have problem here with the finger. Bounty, joy, friendship, society. Okay, we're all coming together as a society to fight back the problem. And as long as we keep doing this, we're going to see more and more success. We're going to see these problems start to dissolve. They're going to keep feeling this pressure, and it's just these secrets are just bubbling up to the surface. and they're going to feel overwhelmed. They're going to feel that pressure and they're not going to be able to contain it. It's just eventually the truth has to get out, right? Like, you can't lie forever. We may not discover all of the truths, but we're going to discover some pretty big ones, I feel like. So let's go ahead and get a little bit more info here. See if Spirit wants to say anything else. Okay. Ooh, wow, okay. We have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So I feel like with this, I feel like there's some pretty powerful people. Maybe those within government that are going to be coming out or just helping to discover things. See if we can get a little bit more detail on that. But yeah, I feel like, I mean, there's going to be more than one person working on things to fight back, but like somebody with, somebody with Queen of Cups energy and King of Cups energy, emotional people I feel like who are very caring, very nurturing. We have older man here, so it's probably somebody older in the system trying to fight back. We have angel, spirit, spiritual guidance. So we as a society are being protected at this time. Good advice from a wise person could definitely be that older man. We have pineapple with reconciliation. We have more about perseverance with the camel. We have more about wisdom, but this is more talking about a longer journey. So we may still need to be putting up the fight for a little bit longer. Okay, so bridge, we have successfully overcoming a problem. And then we have period of prosperity and abundance with bread. So this period, I don't think would happen right away, but it does feel like that's where we're leading to. Okay, we're leading to a period of prosperity and abundance. And then there's wreath with a sorrow over a loss. And this makes me think of MAGA losing their momentum. See if we can get anything else. But so far, just confirming something, you know, what we've been talking about. I just find it very interesting that you've got Queen and King of Cups, and then you've got older man. Growth of energy, growth of the people, growth of what the people want, growth of this perseverance. People coming together. Okay. And then we also have Luna. Makes me think of the moon card. So that kind of is, it's a little bit still of a mystery right now of how things are going to go. This is probably the overall energy, even though we are fighting back. It's still a little bit of a mystery of like when we're finally going to see change, um, see MAGA get pushed back, see them fall apart, get things back in order. You know, so I kind of feel like that's the collective energy, but we're still, even though we're uncertain, we are still fighting back. Let's see if I can get one more from this deck, though. I know one more wants to pop out at least. And then we have resilience with the fox. The fox, that symbol of a fox also kind of makes me think of some trickery, and that kind of makes me think of just MAGA in general with their trickery. But we, the people, are resilient. We're going to keep having this resilience. We're going to keep growing this energy, this positive energy, the light, fighting back the darkness. Love that. We have hope, and we also have rejoice. So we're holding on to hope that we'll get to rejoice in the future, but the fact that rejoice is coming up in general, I definitely, and along with all the other cards, the perseverance, the success, I feel like we're going to win. And again, with wisdom. So much wisdom coming through, especially with those people that came up. So there's two very important people. I just can't think of who they are, who want to, who are fighting back. Definitely. Beautiful. Okay. So we are finding balance in the success, but I also feel like this is talking about those two people finding a way to bring balance back into the government. We also have the star talking about dreams coming true, opportunities, renewal, hope again is going to be coming in, healing is coming in, and then we also have the 10 of Pentacles. I feel like this is also a very successful card, but bringing in prosperity to the people, our country, really finding, I guess, our roots again, finding security, finding abundance, coming together as like a family. Yeah. Okay, so I want to actually try something that I haven't tried before on my channel, but it is something that I want to get into a little bit more. I've done it by myself a couple times, and it's actually been really successful. So let me just quickly clean up here for you guys. But I think that's all good news with what's going on right now. We just continue to fight back. We are winning, okay? It may not feel like it all the time, but we are winning. I also with how much success we're doing as a collective, I mean, at least I got, I found out for where I live at in the US that the government is reopening, the shutdown is ending, and at least for my state, SNAP benefits are going to be starting up again very, very soon. I think I think some states may have it a little bit of a harder time. I wouldn't be surprised. Um, but know that if you are somebody and you're watching this, you're somebody who accepts these benefits and you're struggling this month because of the shutdown, um, know that the government is reopening and your SNAP benefits should be returning soon. I I don't really know, but there's too many states to really know for sure when you are going to be getting it specifically, especially since this is a collective reading. I'm not just focusing on one person. But know that the government is reopening and you should be getting your benefits soon. And I think we were even talking about that in my last political video. I was trying to get a timing on when things should start to settle with that. And if I remember correctly, I think it said between this month into January. I don't think it went further, or it went beyond that. So depending on your state, it should be resolving from now into January. Definitely reach out to your local food shelves if you're still really struggling. Definitely encourage you to do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna lay out the cards. Okay, so we have that at the center. I'm sorry that this is not more of a top-down view, but it is the best I can do right now. And I'll read out the cards to you once I'm done laying them all out. I'm probably not going to do a big one just because we don't have a ton of room here. Okay. Okay, so from left to right on the top, we've got Rider, Whip, Mountain, House, and Coffin. In the middle row, from left to right, Letter, Heart, Dog, Woman, and Moon. And then on the bottom, left to right, Book, Bouquet, Star, Mouse, and Child. Okay, so with Dog being the center of this reading, we've got leadership, allies, loyalty, obedience, support, trustworthy. This definitely makes me feel like the people coming in, showing resilience, forming a leadership, with these protests. With the mountain, there are still obstacles in our way, but we have a good heart in this. We are passionate, we are loving, we care, With the star right underneath us, we have hope still. We have wishes, dreams. We have progress on our goals. But I'm also thinking that it's not just the people that we're talking about here. It's also people in government who do honestly want to fight back for the people, for the country, and not just themselves, not just something for their own gain. We have woman popping up, and this kind of immediately made me think of that queen and king energy, the queen and king of cups. We don't have a man card right now, but let me see if it were to pop up, I would have another row if I had the room. No, it would not. Okay. So maybe there is more of a female figure who is going to be helping to take a stand a little bit more. Maybe somebody, I'm kind of hearing, standing up for women's rights too. Letter is also kind of making me think of these emails that came through. Letter could also be talking about the files. And with it being right above book, and book is also talking about mystery and secrets, yeah, that definitely feels like that connects. So something more about the files is definitely going to be coming out. And it's going to be fast with the writer above it. Or it's at least, it's at the very, I'm not saying that it's going to come out tomorrow, but it's at least going to be starting to gain more momentum, which is what we were talking about at the beginning of the video. With the whip right next to the speed, though, there's going to be some conflict, which then we also leading into obstacles. House makes me think of the White House. And then with the coffin, we've got endings. So I feel like those obstacles are going to be leading into endings. We're not going to have as many obstacles eventually. And then it's going to be leading into a deeper feeling of rejoice when we come out of this. A start of new beginnings. And I feel like this is a sense of knowing. We know it's coming. We know that Megha can't lie forever. We know that the truth is eventually going to come to the surface. It's just a waiting game at the moment. With the mouse, I feel like with it being in between the hope and the new beginnings, yeah, this is definitely, as a collective, making us stressed and nervous. With it being underneath the woman card, whoever this person is, who I feel like is helping to try and bring information out, trying to help bring this new beginning in. is also stressed and nervous. Well, maybe not too nervous, but just stressed, feeling depleted. They could also be discovering a theft in the White House. Many, many, many of us are talking about how this past election was not legitimate. So maybe that's going to be coming out too soon. Could also be in relation to the letter. Okay. Let's see. We didn't talk about bouquet, but I do feel like that just adds to the heart. We have so much love for each other. We have so much joy. We see joy in our hopes and our dreams and our wishes. Joy for the secrets coming out. A gift to the people for what we deserve. But let's go ahead and get a little bit of timing to end on this video. Wrap this up here. Figuring out when are these big secrets going to finally bubble to the surface? Okay. Ooh. Okay, we have November, so we're already starting on the big secrets. We're currently, as I'm recording this, in November of 2025. See if we can get anything else, since at the moment it's the 15th of November, so we're already halfway through the month. Okay, I felt like that one wanted to come out. Okay, we also have February. Okay, yeah. We have November and February. It could also be happening in between this time. So November to February, probably going to be starting to see a little more secrets coming out. I did also see, and I think I said that actually before I show you the next thing that I want to talk about. I said this a couple videos ago that I feel like from now to February, we're going to be seeing a lot of change. We're going to be seeing a lot of pushback. It's not going to go well for MAGA. But we also have April and August. And I'm not really surprised that these later months popped up, because look, MAGA isn't going to just go away overnight, okay? And there's still going to be people who believe in the MAGA movement, who believe that the current sitting president is the rightful president. There's still going to be people like this, okay? This energy isn't going to go away overnight. Secrets are not just going to be revealed completely overnight, so we may still see some secrets come out in April and August, even if, let's say, by February, something were to happen to the Orange Man, which is something we've predicted in a past video. And when I say something happening, it could be his health, it could be his removal, it could really be anything, I feel like. at this point. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I'm getting anything else tonight, so I'm just gonna end it here, and we will touch in again next week. Again, sorry for the late posting. I was trying to get this out sooner, but I've just had a very busy week, and like I said, I don't have my setup like I used to, so and I'm trying to work on a new setup. So I'm just doing whatever I can to make sure that these videos get out there for you guys. So again, thank you so much for coming by and watching this video. I hope you found it interesting. If you have any questions that you'd like me to ask Spirit, please go ahead and comment them down below. Please like and subscribe so you can see more content from me. You can go ahead and click that bell button so you can get notifications for when I post next. You can also follow me on TikTok, which I'm going to have the link down below in the description. But other than that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for coming by, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!